And welcome back, students. We are now going to continue to delve into hardware. We are now getting to our final topic, which is output. So with that being said, let's get into our introduction to it. So just a quick recall. An output device is a piece of computer hardware that receives data and commands from an information processing system in order to perform a task. We've also defined this in the past as a device that will print or display information back to the user. Now, there are many forms of output devices, and we're going to just examine a few quick common ones here in the next few slides. So, first one, of course, is the computer monitor, probably one of the most common ones that people are familiar with. Computer monitor's output device which displays information in pictorial form. Older monitors would display this using CRT technology or cathode ray tube. Newer monitors use LCD or liquid crystal display. Things such as smartphones typically don't use LCD, actually, though they use OLED, which is a newer technology, but as such, it's really expensive to implement, so that's why you typically don't see it in monitors yet. You only see it in smaller devices. Now, originally, computer monitors were used for data processing. Modern computer monitors are easily interchangeable with things like conventional television sets, so you could take a new TV and use it as a computer monitor. It's perfectly plausible to do. Now, the common aspect ratio of television and computer monitors has changed from that of a 4:3 aspect ratio to that of 16:10 for a wider screen or 16:9 for television and standard computer monitors. Next, let's talk about resolution. The display of resolution or display modes of a digital television, computer monitor, or display device is a number of distinct pixels in each dimension that can be displayed. It is usually coded as width by height, with the units being represented in pixels. So, for example, 1024 by 768 means the width is 1024 pixels and the height is 768 pixels. Now, there are numerous display resolutions for computer monitors due to the large variance of the type of computers, and that also has a lot to do with what kind of signal is it taking in. Next is refresh rate. The refresh rate of a monitor is the speed or the rate at which the computer monitor's image changes or refreshes. The faster the refresh rate, the more times the image can update every second, and the smoother the image will look. This number of changes per second is measured in hertz. Now, a typical PC monitor will have a refresh rate of about 60 hertz. Sometimes you'll see them like 70 or 85. Typically that's somewhere in the range, but most common ones are around 60. But the latest gaming displays can reach all the way up to 240 hertz. That's quite significant. However, there are diminishing returns, which means the larger your number gets, the smaller the amount of change you'll notice. So, for example, where the jump from 60 hertz to 100 hertz is actually quite noticeable in your refresh rate, the jump from 144 to 240, even though it's a larger gap, it's almost 100 hertz, it's far less noticeable to the human eye. Now, let's also talk about response time for monitors. This is the time that it takes for one pixel to change from one color to another. This is measured in milliseconds. It's directly related to the refresh rate, in that a monitor can really only refresh its image quickly if the pixels can respond quick enough. So the smaller the value of millisecond, the faster the response time. All right, let's move into the next output device, which is speakers and headphones. Both speakers and headphones output audio. Most speakers have an internal amplifier and consequently require a power source, which may be powered either via AC adapter, batteries, USB port, etc. Now, the signal input connector is often a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary jack, or you'll have an RCA jack, or USB, Bluetooth, etc. Most common one is usually the 3.5 millimeter for what we do. Next is the output device printer. A printer is a peripheral device which makes a persistent, human-readable representation of graphics or text on paper. I think most of us are probably pretty familiar with what a printer is. However, there are numerous types of printers available. The choice of print technology has a great effect on the cost of the printer and the cost of the operation, speed, quality, and permanence of documents, and noise. Right? And when I talk about different types, like there's laser printers, you have inkjet printers, you have 3D printers, there's quite a bit of list of the different types of printers that are available. All right, that concludes our notes, though, folks. Until next time.